these slides because they're not working, but it does not change anything that you're doing, right? Because it was just the words you were reading off of here were just going to be on the screen. The beauty of it is, since the sun's not so bright right now, I was able to open our curtains and we can all stare out at the sky, or we can't, but you guys can all, right? So it doesn't change, and beautiful dress doesn't change anything for you, okay? Nothing changes. I do the first part. The first time you say something is when we're done with page 144. That's the first time, and it's page 1. We're starting on, we'll start here, which is 120. Your family who are lighting candles. Yeah. And we're good to go. Everything. You read it all on Tuesday when we were practicing.
Okay, is it like all the stuff that's like...
Those English readings that you're leading?
Okay, yeah.
Shema is the Hebrew thing you're leading today.
Like by myself?
I mean, everybody's going to join in. You'll be like the first one to say it, and then I'll join in with you, so we're going to join in. Yes, that. Yeah. It's the...
There's some people that I did not expect to be here.
Family members, friends?
Yeah, family members.
Nice. It's nice to have a reason to come together and celebrate. I'll have to talk. Are there people here from Ohio?
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to them.
One's right there.
Okay.
My aunt, the photographer.
Okay.
That's my grandma.
Okay. Okay.
And my uncle and aunt are from Ohio, but they live in Portland.
Okay.
And I just know.
Okay.
Joanna Chenault instead of Raina Matthews.
What'd you say? I'll probably just use first names. Hopefully they know who they are. Are you good if we start soon?
How soon?
Like now? You just get to stand up here and smile for the beginning. I'm probably going to ask you to say Shabbat Shalom to people. Is that okay? Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone! Oh, let me explain how we can do better. Okay, so when we say Shabbat Shalom, we're just wishing each other a day of peace. So if someone up here says Shabbat Shalom, with the most ruach, the most spirit you have, you're just going to wish it back to us. But I have an idea. I think they were quiet for me, but I think, Ellanor, they'll be much louder for you. What do you think? So, Ellanor, wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Nice power to have, right? You guys were so much louder for Ellanor than for me. Let's try one more time. Shabbat Shalom. They were still louder for you, I think. So great that we are able to be together to celebrate Shabbat and to enter in a Shabbat where tomorrow morning Ellanor will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. For those of you who have prayed with us in this space before, my one instruction for you tonight is you will need a prayer book to follow along with us. So your eyes can gaze into the beauty of the clouds and the sky tonight, but you will need a prayer book. Those of you that are in the seats that have prayer books underneath them, if you have arms on your chair, there are prayer books right underneath you. If you are in this section that does not have arms on your chair, we will make sure that everyone is able to get a prayer book. There'll be moments for you to sing along. There'll be moments for you to read along. And we hope that you truly just bring yourself to this space. In order to start this morning, I want you to think about something amazing that's happened to you in this last week. Something amazing. A birthday? Well, that's not this last week. That's a surprise for later, but... right? It's like right now.
Yeah.
So right now, Ellanор's birthday, right? 13 today, this moment, doing anything to celebrate?
My father.
Having a bat mitzvah, right? Absolutely, absolutely. So we have at least one birthday we know of in the house. Anybody else want to share something great that's happened to them in the past week? Yeah.
Lots of family and friends coming in, despite, I think, in every case, flights being canceled, delayed, people having to sleep over at the airport, but everybody's here.
But we made it. So great to be able to be together. I know many of those family members came from Ohio. I'm from Ohio. We'll have to talk during Oneg. Other wonderful things that have happened this past week. Oh my goodness. Cars stolen 2 weeks and they found it perfectly? That really is an amazing, sounds like a story that needs to be turned into a movie.
Everybody may not know that we lost power here about 1 o'clock and it came back on at 4. So that was pretty good.
I definitely know. And Steve knows so very well because we were absolutely talking all afternoon about how the power went out. How much louder am I now, right? So when your power goes out, if you probably know this about your homes, when you have a lot of technology that runs your system, it all also goes out. So beautiful that it has left and it has returned. Vayhi or, let there be light in our building. Other wonderful things that have happened this past week for anyone?
I went to a snake farm, number one. And number two, I've had a house on the market since November. It finally closed today.
Congratulations on the house, and I'll congratulate myself for having never have to go to a snake farm. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Other wonderful things you're bringing to Shabbat tonight? Well, as we think about the joyful moments in all of our lives, let us enter Shabbat and bring them together and celebrate. We're going to begin by lighting our Shabbat candles. You can open up your prayer book to pages 120 and 121, where you see our Shabbat blessings. I'm going to invite up Rachel and Steve and Jeremy and Joanna to join us up here to help light our Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all those who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Someone can physically pick up this candle.
Would you like to lead us in the prayer, or would you like us to do it together? Perfect, thank you.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
You may all go back to your seats. Thank you.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 124. We read together in the middle. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love and all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Let us welcome the presence of Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi, pages 138 and 139. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 with the chorus in between. When we get to that 9th and final verse, if you are comfortable doing so, I invite you at that time to rise, to face the door, and to metaphorically greet Shabbat as if you were greeting someone coming over to your house. Let us join together. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad L'shem u'tiferet ve'litila Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'maksheva techila lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. I invite you to rise and face the door so we can metaphorically greet Shabbat as we continue with verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvesohola tochemune am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat yalalai yalalai p'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Before you take your seats, I'm going to offer you a moment in this theme of welcoming. Turn to your right, turn to your left. Maybe you'll have to go a few rows behind you. Wish someone a Shabbat Shalom. Greet somebody, maybe somebody you didn't arrive here with or sleep on an airport floor with, but wish somebody a Shabbat Shalom. You haven't? Last Friday you were here. Okay.
We didn't do it. Do we always do it on Friday? I think. Oh, I got here late.
Once you've had a moment to greet someone, I invite you to head back to your seats, and you may take your seats. Let us continue this theme of welcoming as we welcome the ministering angels of Shabbat with the words of Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I invite you now to take a deep breath. As you inhale, maybe carry one of the wonderful things we celebrated with each other at the beginning of our services in your hearts. As you exhale, try to exhale all your worries away. Exhale your travel delays away. Exhale the to-do list that you didn't get finished this past week. Try to leave all of those burdens aside as we enter these moments of Shabbat with joy and in celebration. Page 144.
Please rise.
Not yet. She's ready to go, ready to take over. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei rabba ve'alma divrach yotev yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv ve'imeru Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Olam Me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudesha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru.
Please rise.
As we turn the page. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We read together on page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God,
From whom the evening flows, your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and Mitzvah, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are life, and our doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Please rise. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We continue chanting together on page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'leftecha v'derech u'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We read responsibly on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings and many of our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158.
Who is like you?
Not yet. We're going to sing. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, o seifele, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh.
Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders?
Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than its own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. I have a question for you, Ellanor. What is the one place you feel the most peaceful?
My bedroom.
Your bedroom, okay. I might have expected you to say horseback riding. No, that's a lot of work, right? Soccer field, lots of work. So I'm gonna ask everybody else, what's the one place for you you feel the most at peace?
Any brave souls want to share? Yeah?
In the forest.
Beautiful. Anybody else? Yeah?
The bayou.
Nice. Very southern answer. Yeah.
At the beach.
Lots of us connect to nature.
In front of a classroom after a well-executed lecture.
Beautiful. Anybody else? A place you feel peace? Yeah.
Mexico.
My front porch, staring at my magnolia tree.
Beautiful. Anybody else? Many of us have these personal moments or places, whether it be in our bedrooms, whether it be in the bayou or in front of a classroom, somewhere in nature.
We each have the opportunity to find peace. I invite you to enter that space now, not physically, but in your mind. Find those moments of peace. The rabbis who put together our evening liturgy knew that nighttime, before all these lights, before iPhones on our nightstand, before all of those things, nighttime was scary. And so they suggested that in our evening prayers, we need to figure out how to transport ourselves to those peaceful moments. We have to figure out how we can create what is called a sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace over each one of us. So I invite you to find that space now as we continue reading together on page 161.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God.
Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth, for with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue celebrating Shabbat, singing the words of Vishamru on page 162. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. We've come to that moment in our service where we turn to our central prayers. The words of our Amidah remind us of those who came before us, looking at our history. Allow us to think about the strength of God, whatever we believe God to be, and also lets us think about what it means to be kadosh, what it means to be holy in our world. So together we will chant together these words, page 164 and following.
Please rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagiteh ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Hallelujah, Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We invite you to continue now with your own prayers, either the words on the pages until page 180, or the words you find in your own hearts this evening, and you may be seated whenever you wish. Oh, say shalom bimroma, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Okay, Ellanor, I didn't tell you I was going to put you on the spot like this, but do you know what the next Jewish holiday is on our calendar? Should we phone a friend? Yes. Anybody know, Jeopardy question of the evening, what the next, I did not tell her I was going to ask her this, Jewish holiday is on the calendar? Correct. Shavuot. I was going to start giving hints, like it's the one where we study a lot, or it's the one where we eat ice cream and cheesecake, right? Which is almost all of them, but this one you're supposed to eat ice cream and cheesecake. So we are on this journey right now from Shabbat happens every week. What was the last big holiday we did on the Jewish calendar? Passover, correct, wherever that came from. We are counting from Passover, Exodus of Egypt, to Shavuot, which is what we celebrate receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai. And so there is this ritual at this time on the Jewish calendar where we count. Nothing more, nothing less, but say a blessing and we count. The interesting thing I think about this counting is if you forget a night to count these days, you're allowed to continue back up again, but you're supposed to not say the blessing. So for me, it makes me think about how this is more than just counting the journey from Exodus to Mount Sinai, but it's really practice in mindfulness. Think about, for those of you who are gym goers in the room, you do your regular routine day after day after day, something comes up and you stop. The next time you return to the gym, your body doesn't let you do the same thing like you've been doing day after day. And it's the same with this practice. You count every night 1, 2, 3 with a blessing. So we're going to honor that moment in our calendar now as we count the Omer. So I invite you in your prayer books to turn to page 570. I invite you to join with us in the blessing, which is found in the middle of this page, in Hebrew and in English, for counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Today is the 39th day, which is 5 weeks and 4 days of the Omer. As we are on this journey together as a community, one of the teachings in Judaism about the journey as our people wandered in the wilderness is one that we teach today as well. The idea of staying together in a group. You can only imagine what that was like, wandering in the wilderness, moving from place to place, a completely different time. And since they stayed together as a group, some days I'm sure they went faster when everybody felt healthy. And some days I'm sure they had to go slower, because we know always in our community there are those who are in need of healing. So let us take a moment now to turn to our prayers of healing, which in your prayer book is on page 371. As we think of those in need of healing of body, of spirit, and of mind, our community this Shabbat thinks of Joy Lewis, Minna Bat Yentel, Mordechai Ben Dina, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Frida Tamaro Bat Liba Bela, Menucha Pesa Bat Cherny Umoshe, Gretchen Haynes, Ruby Smolinski, Jennifer Casson, Storm Matthews, Terry Stern, Judith Von Brentnell, Kaylee Barron, David Berman, Harvey Schwartzberg, Maxine Cohn, David Leake, Barbara Stockner, Janet Gerwich, Danielle Riker, Laura Swire, Susan Wasserman, Nevin Rose, Cindy DeMarco, Sheldon Rawson, James Stockner, Vicki Jenkins, Steve Ginsberg, Yitzchak Dov Ben Chana, Devorah Bat Yaakov Chaim Vabela, Rena Bander, Arlette Goldstein, Paula Vianu, and Miriam Bensman. If there are others you are thinking of in need of healing, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so as one community at this time. For those names we heard aloud, those whom we hold in our hearts, and those in need of healing in Israel, let us offer these prayers of healing in the middle of page 371. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I have been blessed to spend time at 3 different URJ, Union for Reform Judaism camps. Most recently, our regional camp, Jacob's Camp. Before that, Camp Harlem in Pennsylvania. And my first experience at a URJ camp was with Goldman Union Camp Institute, better known as Gucci, in Indiana. At Gucci, I experienced high school youth group events with Nifty Ohio Valley. I was a first-year counselor and eventually worked my way up to leadership roles. After 7 summers at Gucci, I had grown as a person, gained a new family, and truly realized what it meant to say a place was magical. Gucci is a singing camp. Dan Nichols, whose music we use throughout our prayer services and camps use across the country, grew up at Gucci. One of his famous songs was written about the camp, where I learned so much about Jewish community. The song begins, "We have come from near and far to raise our voice in song. And the more we join in the refrain, the more we feel strong. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek." There is a power in this place and time. It shapes the rest of our lives. For when we return each year, we find a truth we can't deny. Be strong and let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. As we sing, we link ourselves to those who came before, and we're one with all those yet to come. Our strength, it will endure. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. How many people are singing in their heads right now? A few of you, maybe. Just reading these words to you now transports me back to a Shabbat campfire with my arms around my campers swaying, sometimes with smiles, sometimes with tears, but always with strength. The phrase Dan based the song off of, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, is the phrase we say upon completing the reading of a book of Torah. These words, understood mostly as congratulations, actually have a more profound message. They can be translated as be strong, and we will be encouraged, or be strong, and we will make an effort, or be strong, and we will strengthen one another. The first part of the phrase uses the singular form. Where are all my biblical grammar nerds? I know there are some in the room. The first part of the phrase uses the singular form because the individual should be strengthened. The second part, though, uses the plural form, indicating 2 key outcomes, I believe, of individual strength. Not only the individual, but also the collective of which she or he is a part of can be encouraged and strengthened and supported. Tomorrow morning, after Ellanor chants from the Torah, we will offer these words to each other as we close out the book of Leviticus. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. It is a prayer, a proclamation, and a promise. It is a prayer. Reading Torah is easy. Do you agree with that statement? No, she's been working very hard, right? Very, very hard. I know she'll do beautifully tomorrow. But really, reading Torah is easy. Living Torah is harder. Welcome the stranger. Honor your parents. Distinguish between work and rest. Do not mistreat the poor. The list goes on and on. It is sometimes hard to find time and energy. It is sometimes hard to extend our hand and open our heart, dependent on what is going on in our own lives. When we say chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, though, at the conclusion of a Torah reading, we are praying for courage to live according to the teachings we hold true from Torah. It's a proclamation that says learning is critical. For learning strengthens our identity and reinforces our values. It opens our minds and challenges our perspectives. And finally, it is a promise. We will be strengthened. We will overcome. As Jews and as Americans, this is not the first time we have faced adversity. Since our earliest days as a people, we've encountered obstacles and overcome them. And we unfortunately know all too well what it means to continue to have obstacles because of the current climate of our world. So when we say the final words of this phrase, v'nit chazek, we are promising each other, I am here for you. We will stand together stronger. Chazak, we are strengthened by knowledge that comes from a learning that is expansive, critical, and sacred. Chazak, we are strengthened by prayers that instill in us compassion, that firms our resolve, that affirms our values, and expresses our hopes. V'nit chazek, and we are strengthened by coming together as a Jewish community, coming together across faith communities, coming together united. With this understanding, I hope that when we recite these words tomorrow morning, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, will not just be another Hebrew phrase, but a way of life that brings each of us a bit of shalom, a bit of peace. Shabbat shalom. We're going to return now to our prayer books, to those concluding prayers which begin on page 586. I'm going to invite any of the kids in the room who would like to come on up here with Ellanor. Ellanor is going to take all the kids in the room to our ark. Any takers? Be brave. You're all invited. All you have to do is open and close the ark with Ellanor. If nobody comes up, I'm going to send you out to get your friends and family. Okay, here's the kicker. If you come help, that bowl of candy on the table is for you. You know, if no kids come up, Alex is going to come up. So, okay. We're on page 586. You're going to go here with them. I'm going to invite the congregation to please rise. You're going to go. Whoever wants to do it. She's a pro. Yeah, could be a group effort. Like towards me and that way. And then come stand this way. We join together. Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, lateit yedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzo, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam kokenu kahem, v'goraleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamalchim, hakadosh baruch hu. Turn the page and we continue together. Shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, u'moshe yekaro b'shamayim yima'al, u'shkinatu zo, v'gokei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatuv betorato, v'yadata hayom v'hashavota el levavecha, ki
never lift up our hands but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech kol haaretz bayom hahu yihya Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
All of you, there's a candy dish there. You're allowed to have some candy. You're more than welcome to take some with you. There it is.
You may be seated. As our prayers begin to draw to a close on this Shabbat evening, we turn our thoughts now to our loved ones who are no more. Tonight we remember 3 taken from us in the past 30 days: Harry Rubenstein Saxe, Chuck Schwing, and Carol Kane. To their names, we add the names of those who passed away during the past year: Alvin Mykoff, John Carlson, Ruth Ann Miller, John Roheim, Barry Burton, Shirley Judge, Betty Simmons, Lee Kaplan, Joanne Bender, Leonard Knackman, Rowan Hausman, Maureen Corcoran, Lucy Silva, Larry Zachem, Richard Price Marcus, Eddie Goldman, Ellanor McKee, Faye Roos, Joseph Schieber, Elaine Kaplan, and James Coker. We also think of those who died at this season in years past and whose family members are observing the Yortzeit anniversary of death on this Shabbat. Ray Elster Abramson, Ethel Alkus, Duppel Grant Basham, Terry Berg, Sheldon David Bachak, Harold Bromberg, Jake Chapman, Joanne Rosner Clark, Harvey Dennis, Jack Dupaquier, Lena Langlois, Rose Milstein Lopo, Willie Mabry, Charles Norman Rubin, Sally Sabin, Shirley Saltz, Felix Schmulin, Ronnie Shabe, Jenny Sherman, Jack Sherman, Aaron Stockner, Annie Gordon Wander. Tonight, we also think of 2 members from Ellanor's family, Kenton Garoff and Marcella Garoff. If there are others you are remembering this evening, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so as one community at this time. For those names we heard aloud and those whom we hold in our hearts, we turn together to page 598 to offer these prayers of Mourner's Kaddish, and I invite you to rise if you wish. Yitkadol v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirotev yamlich malchuteh, v'chayachon uvyom echon uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha parichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May all their memories be for a blessing, as together we say. You may be seated. It is my honor to invite Steve Cavalier, representing our board, to welcome us and share some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to everyone who's come from near and far. Thank you for joining us for services tonight. Please join us tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. for services where Ellanor will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. Mazel tov to Ellanor and her entire family. Also tomorrow morning, Rabbi Coleman from New Orleans will be joining us for services. I'm sorry, Cantor Coleman from New Orleans will be joining us for services. Tomorrow night, there will be a Havdalah service on Zoom hosted by the Saxey family at 6 p.m. Next Friday night, help us welcome rabbinic intern Ora Jacobson, Rabbi intern Jacobson. We need to find a shortage.
We'll work on it.
Rabbi intern Jacobson will be spending 6 weeks with our community this summer to learn and to teach. After our 6 p.m. Shabbat service next week, we will gather for an oneg to welcome her to Baton Rouge. The holiday of Shavuot begins on Tuesday night, June 11th. We will gather for a festival evening service, which will include a Yizkor at 6 p.m. This will be followed by an ice cream sundae bar and an opportunity to study the Book of Ruth. Immediately following services tonight, everyone is invited to join us for an oneg in honor of Ellanor. For more details about these events, please go to our website, www.ujcbr.org, or refer to the weekly announcements or to the monthly newsletter. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
You really are turning into an infomercial at the end there for us. I thought tonight, before we join together in Kiddush and Motzi, we have to sing to somebody. She's been up here leading services this whole time, and this is when she's going to blush, right, friends? So today, Ellinor's 13th birthday. Doesn't always happen that your bat mitzvah and your birthday actually coincide. So before we join together in Kiddush and Motzi, let us offer a little happy birthday. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to first sing it the way that I know everybody knows it, in English. And then for those of you who know it, you'll continue on with me in Hebrew. But have you ever had a sanctuary full of people sing you happy birthday? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Let us sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellanor. Happy birthday to you. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Let us sanctify this moment with Kiddush and with Motzi. It can be found on page 123 in our prayer books. And I'm going to invite, Ellanor is going to go to the front and lift our Kiddush cup up, but joining her will be Jeremy and Rachel and Steve and Alex. Dad's as surprised as everybody else. So Ellanor, you're going to be in charge of uncovering and picking up that big cup right there. As they're getting organized, I'm going to invite the congregation. We're on page 123 to please rise. You can decide in a moment. You can take the lid off. And let us join together. Lift it high, Ellanor, for us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. You don't like the red wine? It's okay. You can wait many more years till you drink red wine. You can put the cup down. Can you uncover our challah for us, please? If you want to lift up that plate or hand it to one of your other family members who are up here with you. Let us join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Please come and enjoy some challah and join us as well in Oneg. Shabbat shalom and happy birthday to Ellanor. You can put the plate down.